I was on a walk one afternoon. I was going down to my local pharmacy to read some magazines and maybe buy a snack. Yet on my way down there, I noticed a garage sale. I don't normally care about things like that. Yet I figured I could spare a minute or two and look around. Who knows? Might find something cool. As fate would have it, I did. I noticed an old Looney Tunes DVD. The case was rather old and worn. Some of the charters' faces seemed to be ripped off. Probably from some little kid or something. I used to love those things as a kid, especially loved Wile E. Coyote. Plus, it said it had a special lost episode. Lost episode? I thought. Never heard anything about one of those. Yet when I asked to buy it, the owner said, "You don't want the DVD, dude." Why not? Asked. That lost episode is. He stopped talking as if in a trance, haunted by some horrible nightmare. I didn't really care, if it's bad, so be it. I still got plenty of other episodes to watch on it. In the end, I bought from the guy anyway. Shook his head, and frowned as I left. Jeez, I said to myself, how bad can it really be? Later that night, I decided to watch the DVD. The rest of my family had gone to bed already. My bro and sis had to go to school early tomorrow. My mom had a tough day at work and basically crashed on her bed when she got home. My dad goes to work at 5 a.m. So it was just me, myself, and I was watching some good old Looney Tunes. I put in the player, and soon enough the main screen came up with all the options. Looked cute enough. It had Bugs in the center munching a carrot, Wile and Roadrunner in the background on one side, and Slivester and Tweet on the other. Occasionally, Daffy popped up every once in a while, trying to get on the screen. Yet when he finally does, Elmer Fudd shoots him with a gun. I noticed the lost episode had a select section for itself. And I remembered how freaked out the guy was. Curious, I selected it. How terrible can it be? I remembered thinking once again. The episode starts off as normally. The WB sign, zooming up, followed by the little do-do-do-do music. Then, the title of the episode comes up. I got them all. I found that title a bit odd, but whatever. The title fades away. I was shown Wile E. Coyote, yet he wasn't running after Roadrunner. In fact, I didn't even hear a meep meep. Also, those goofy scientific Latin names they put under the he and Wile E didn't pop up. Yeah, most unusual thing was it was nighttime in the desert. No Wile E. Coyote cartoon was ever shown with it being night. Wile E. just stood there, looking at the camera with a really sad and serious look on his face. No music plays. There's an orange glow coming from the left of him, and I could hear what sounds like a fire near him off screen. He just stood there, looking at the camera, just looking at me for about 15 seconds. Then he turned his head near the screen off fire. The camera stays on him, so I can't tell what he's really looking at. He looks back at me, then he holds up a sign that reads, "You laughed at me." I didn't get where this was going. Then he talks. Rarely does Wile ever talk, unless if he's with Bugs Bunny. You all said it couldn't be done, Wile says. That I can't catch him. That destiny dictates that shall not be. Lifted an eyebrow, still wondering where this was going. Wile walks off screen. When he's totally gone, I hear something wet and squishy along with the fire. Wile walks back and looks at me once more, then lifts his hand. Gasp what it was. What was in it? The Roadrunner's head. Wile laughs and proceeds to bite into the bird's decapitated skull. As he does this, the screen flashes to Wile, silhouetted by a full moon, as he runs through the desert night. Back to Wile and Roadrunner's head for a moment, then back to Wile. Still only a shadowed outline of him. Then I see the Roadrunner sleeping in a nest. Wile walks towards him. Back to Wile, who taking another bite of the Roadrunner head, blood dripping out of it. Back to the Coyote creeping to the nest. He now stands right behind the sleeping bird. I'm now seeing Wile's feet. Blood drips down near them as the sound of him eating the head is heard. Again, we return to Wile and the nest. Wile now holds what looks like a large knife. No way. I remember saying just before it happened. Wile jams the knife right into the Roadrunner's head, its blade coming out of the front and piercing one of its eyes. The brief moment the Roadrunner twitches, then his body goes limp while Wile pulls out the knife by ripping it out the top of Roadrunner's head, followed by the chopping of his neck. Returns to Wile in the head. He's still looking out at me. Tosses the head away and smiles. I was make a freaked out face, terrified and surprised what I saw. Surprised, I see, Coyote said. Well, what about this? Wile reaches for a side of the screen and moves the camera over to where the fire is, only to reveal the rest of the Looney Tune charter's heads on poles. He walks over to the first one, Porky Pig. Then the scene goes to an image of Porky's body on the floor, being cut open and his internal organs being ripped out by Wile's hands. Next is Sylvester. All we see in his scene is his decapitated head in the toilet, floating in the blood and water in it. Elmer Fudd, only his hat is on the pole. The scene goes to him with his shotgun in his mouth. Then his head exploding in a bloody, brainy mess is what I assume while he was firing it. Sam shot with his pistols. Foghorn, skinned alive. The dog. That dog in those Foghorn cartoons have a name. Chainsawed to bits. Felt like I'm wanting to vomit with each new character introduced, followed by how they died. Soon enough, he came to Bugs. Bugs still had his whole body. He was impaled upon a much longer pole. His body is still twitching, its tip coming out of the mouth. The camera moves to the side of his head. His eyes move to look at me. Tries to mutter something, yet can't. Wile then gets his knife and cuts one of Bugs' ears off. Please, no more, I managed to say. I don't know how I made it this far without turning it off. You want me to stop, eh? Wile said. That sent shivers down my spine. Could he hear me? Could he see me? Wile goes in to stab Bugs in the bottom of his spine, then led the blade up to his neck. Blood gushes out of the new wound. I couldn't take it. I stopped the DVD, took it out, and broke it. Stay lost, you fucked shit, I said as tossed it away. I didn't watch Looney Tunes for 2 months after what I saw. I was too afraid that episode would appear. So still am. I tried looking it up on YouTube, yet that, and no site for that matter has it. I pray nobody else has a copy of this DVD. Don't watch the lost episode.